Let's make some music, make some money, find some models for wives.
Alright, today's class we're going to do taxes. I haven't done this in a while because my woman usually does it for me. But, well, I go. Alright, so for the first problem we have a single male with no dependents, which dependents means children, he doesn't have any kids. He has a gross income of $70,000 and his adjustments of $2,000, which is like money that the government takes right away. So he's down to $68,000, and then he has other deductions, which are from like mortgage interest, property taxes, and he donates to charity. So with all that totally, with that adding up, you have a total of $13,700 in deductions, and there is no tax credit. All right, I wrote down a couple steps for you guys to make it easier, but I'm gonna need a volunteer first. So Casey? Never mind, I guess. Anybody else?
Me.
Take us? All right, Alex. Excellent. You're a valid member of this classroom.
Okay, for the first step, you need to take your adjustments and subtract that from the gross income. So you take $70,000, which is your gross income, minus $2,000 to give you $68,000. This number is your adjusted gross income. Now, you take your adjusted income of $68,000 and you subtract that from your exemptions, which is $3,500. And I'll explain how I got that in a minute. And you add that with your deductions of $3,700, which we found out earlier, to get your taxable income. Your taxable income should equal $58,800 for this problem. $50,800.
Looking at the 2008 marginal tax rate graph, we can find out how I got the exemptions of $3,500. Your first step is to find out what category your person falls under. Our guy is single with no dependents, so he falls into the first category. You follow that down to where it says exemptions to see that he has exemptions is $3,500. Okay. I wrote part of the column on the board that our male falls under. First, you start off with your 0.1, and you multiply that by 8,025. Then you add 0.15 multiplied by 32,550, subtract 8,026 from that. And then you add 0.25 times your taxable income of $50,800, and you subtract the $32,551 from that. Going back, 0.1 times 8,025 should give you 802.5 plus 3,678.6 plus 4,562.25.
you add all these numbers together, you should find out that the income tax for this male is $9,043.35. Alright, now you did pretty good with this, Alex. Let's see if you can walk me through this one. But I want you to be aware that this one's now an unmarried head of household with one dependent.
Okay, so we have a $40,000 gross income, then we have the $1,500 in adjustments from the government, and we have deductions of $3,600 state taxes and $800 of charitable contributions, which come to a total of $5,400, and it doesn't surpass the $8,000 that is your standard deduction. For this problem, we're given the $2,500 for tax credit, which you subtract off the income tax at the very end. You start with gross income minus the adjustments, and it equals the adjusted gross income. You're going to start with $40,000 minus $1,500, and then that comes to a total of $38,500. On to step 2, Mr. Kumors. You're going to start with the adjusted gross income minus the number of people, which is including yourself, times the $3,500 plus the deductions. That's plus the 8,000. That total comes to 15,000. Let's subtract it. That comes to a total taxable income of $23,500.
What did you
On to step 3. Mr. Kumors wrote this tax margin rate chart on the board for us, which is the column of the head of the household. Again, we're going to use the percents like we did in the last problem, and we'll start with 0.1 times 11,450 plus 0.15, in parentheses, 23,500 minus 11,451. This, then the calculations on the bottom, that's 1,145 plus 1,807.35, which comes to a total calculated tax of $2,952.35. That's total calculated tax. On to step 4, which is pretty simple. You use your tax credit that you're given in the beginning. Minus the calculated tax. So you take the calculated tax minus the tax credit. So it's the $2,952.35 minus $2,500, which is $452.35, which is total income tax of the entire problem.
And that is how you do your taxes. Looks like it's about that time, class.
What you know about math? What you know about math? What you know about math? Hey, don't you know I represent math lead when I add shorty subtract? Freshman backpack where I hold in all my work. And what you know about math? What you know about math? What you know about math? I know all about math. Answer's 44, it's real easy cause of sig figs. You got 45, you rounded high, your answer's too big. What you know about math? What you know about math? What you know about math? I know all about math. GR80 for silver edition, know I'm shining, dog. Extra memory on the back.
Man, what's up, man? What's good with you, dog? What are you doing? Man, let's see what they got.
This is my natural law. You know we multiply while memorizing pi. Take limits to the sky.
What's up, man? Where you going, yo? Where you going?
That Mountie, man.
Oh, you with man? We go with you, man?
Yeah.
All right, with you, man.